Hello everyone, my name is Nerd Builder. I'd like to welcome you back into another episode of MineColonies. I hope you're having a great day so far. So we're standing in front of our recently and pretty much just completed upgraded warehouse up to level 4. This week we took some time and we upgraded both of our builders' huts, and the warehouse was the first non-builder's hut upgrade that we did at level 4, and the only one as of recording that we have done. And I wanted to do the warehouse right away because we have had some, getting pushed out of the way there, some issues with storage once again. I've been trying to move some stuff out. I've actually been taking advantage of our town hall up here that has some storage racks a bunch on the second floor. So I've been taking advantage of that and moving tree saplings, seeds, leaves, all that stuff over there. And I think it's gonna get a lot easier, hopefully, to manage when we get the composter, which we're going to be doing in the next episode. So that'll take care of all these excess leaves and seeds and saplings and even potatoes. We have a lot of potatoes. But yeah, it didn't unfortunately add any new rack space, which I was kind of disappointed to see. But it did do some minor changes, put some bars up over here. So, made it look a little bit more complex, I guess, in here. But yeah, no extra rack space. And, as level 5, while they have an ender chest, they don't have any additional racks. So I think at this point, when we want to get some additional storage, which we're definitely going to need, we're going to have to do an upgrade after level 5 to add in some additional racks. So it looks like we could do that 3 times to expand capacity, which we'll do. So, but we're a little ways away from level 5 right now. We're just getting into level 4, most of our builds. And let me just sort it. I've been trying to sort and stay on top of keeping our inventory as clean as possible, so we're maximizing the amount of space. But yeah, as I mentioned too, we spent some time early in the week upgrading both of our builders' huts to level 4. And for those who have been watching the series since the very beginning and up to, very recently, you can tell now that Maddox's hut is no longer slightly under the surface, one block down. So when we originally placed the town hall and Maddox's hut, again, these were the first two buildings that we had placed. And at the time, I forgot to elevate, make sure that it was equal with ground level. So our town hall had been sunken in, as was our builder's hut here. So we reconstructed Maddox's builder's hut, and we also upgraded Emmy's builder's hut over here as well. And, over the last week too, we did some upgrading on the houses. This week as well, we upgraded 2 more houses. We're actually out of space for colonist right now. We can't add to our colony, and we do have some space in our library because, again, we want to get them some training before we move them in the professions. So we can take on about 3 more colonists. So at this point, it's just a need to continue upgrading housing. But we'll go inside here. And, it looks a little bit different. I'm just going to show really quickly because, again, this is going to take a little while. You can see how short this little bar is here, that there's going to be a lot of material needed here to get this up to level 5. So we're a little ways away from it, and including, purple pillar, but I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or in the comment section, I believe that may only be a end thing, so we're going to have to fight the Ender Dragon. But yeah, so that's a lot of stuff there to upgrade. So this is going to take a little bit of time to get to that level, but we have a lot of upgrading to do around the colony. So yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to where our auto sheep farm is, because I'm just going to talk a little bit about that, because this week we finally finished upgrading it. So let's head on over there and we'll talk about it. Okay, so we're standing over here and we finally have a completed auto sheep farm, which isn't that difficult to do. It's a pretty basic design, just repetitive, and we needed a bunch of material, redstone, nether quartz, and bows to do it. And, as a reminder, I definitely recommend the chunk loader mod if you're not building a auto farm either in your area where your base is or where the spawn area of the world is. This little chunk loader makes sure that this entire area is constantly running, and it doesn't seem to have too much of a performance impact on it. So even if we're outside the render distance, this area, and including our iron farm, which is over there, is kept on at all times. And the reason we're doing this is just because, again, it's not sustainable to keep getting that much dye from flowers, because again, we only have so many limited flowers by us. So I felt it was finally time to do this. But this farm has been running in total for a couple hours. We've taken like 2 stacks of green wool, and we're getting pretty good production out of it. It's a pretty basic design. If you check any of our live streams, you can kind of see in the last couple live streams from this video, you can see the process in building it. But we have each of the colors over here, and it looks like the Wandering Trader conveniently showed up, but nothing that I need. Although I do need, maybe I will trade him. I do need some cactus, because one of the things I uncovered, which I could just mention right now. Well, actually, I'll mention it when we head back over to the main side of the colony there. But yeah, so we have all of the different colors hanging out here. This side is our oldest side, and then our newest ones are over here, heading up here. But we have 15 in total. I realized that that we're missing the I think it's light gray one, but I didn't really see a purpose for it right now. But we can always find a space somewhere, maybe right in here if we need to, for light gray wool. But yeah, so even this one with gray wool, we're getting decent production, and like I said, these have only been running for a couple hours. So we'll build up over time. It's going to require a lot of shears. We'll have to fill this box up a little bit more, but I'm happy with this. A lot of our builds need some sort of wool there, so it's going to be nice not having to find dye to make it, and just be able to come over here and grab it from our farm. But we're also eventually going to run probably kind of low on low on space, I should say, so we'll have to expand our manual storage area. So 2 more things before we jump into today's build. We're going to head back over to the colony, and I'll discuss a big thing that I found in the university. So let's head back over there. Okay, so I actually lied. We're going to have 3 things quickly to talk about before we jump into our build for today. The first one being that we did a couple weeks ago recruit someone to be our nether miner, and her skills are pretty good because we've had very, unfortunately, poor luck with our nether miner dying within about 1 game day or 2 game days. So she's been going for a couple game days, and she's been doing pretty well. It looks like her strength in that has actually gone up. I tried to teach her at the library. I tried to have her assigned over to the library, but unfortunately, her intelligence didn't go up. And then even, we were trying to do some other training with her, and it didn't really work. So, but it looks like her adaptability, because that was a 27 and her strength was a 27. So it looks like she is improving a little bit. These are the highest skills that we've had at this position here. So, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because I really want to get a nether miner going, because again, coming back with like a lot of important material, because even here already, so she's already coming back with like warp stem, a bunch of netherrack, crimson stem, and she's brought back a lot of soul sand and nether quartz and some gold nuggets too. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm hoping that this is going to end up working out and that she'll last for a while. So that's something new that we recently did. So like I said, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And let's head on over to the library, because I made a discovery. Because now that we have the library up to level 3, I've been trying to stay on top of doing some of the research. We're just waiting for some additional cactus before we can do what we need to do next. But I think it's under, is it under technology? It is. So there is a research called Double Trouble, and I've talked about the plantation in the past, that I thought that it was kind of a waste of space, like if we couldn't plant more than one type of crop there. And it turns out that there is a research in the university for that. So you could see on here, plantations grow 2 crops at once. So I'm assuming that maybe down the road, well, is there even down the road because this chain kind of ends here. So maybe they can only grow, maybe they can only grow like 2 different types of crop, but that's a little bit better than what it was because again, like that feels wasteful just to have like 10, at the maximum, like 10 sugarcane crops and like that's the entire plantation. So at least we'll be able to get, and I think we're going to do cactus for it, but originally we were going to do 3 individual plantations. Now I'm thinking we're going to do 2. The first one will have cactus and sugarcane, and the second plantation will have bamboo and sugarcane. So just waiting on a little bit more cactus, and we already have 64 bamboo and sugarcane, but when we get the cactus, we'll be all set there. So that's going to be coming up soon in a couple live streams, I think, of working on another plantation. But something else, and I'll just show over here that we finally got rid of our animal farm that was over here. This has been there since the beginning of the series. We cleared it out over these last couple live streams, and we built a second farmhouse, and I upgraded it right away. And, we expanded our crop field out a little bit more to compensate for the extra space that we picked up. We made pretty good use of the space, and I'm thinking we might put a platform or something behind here because we get a lot of pirates that come over this way. But yeah, so now we have a couple additional fields here, and especially because this week we uncovered that there was a wheat shortage, a massive wheat shortage and a massive carrot shortage. So that was part of the driver for getting this second farm in, which has alleviated to an extent. Wheat is still very low, but carrots have since really taken off. So we just added a couple different fields in over here. And yeah, I don't see our second. There he is, Crosby. But yeah, so I'm hoping that that's going to help alleviate some of our crop shortages. So but those are all the big things that we were working on this week. And, I'm happy with the progress that we made this week, and we definitely have a lot more to go. So, but with that being said, I'm going to keep our update and our initial part of our video a little bit shorter today because we have a pretty decent size build with a little bit of a longer time lapse. So today we're going to be working on the Combat Academy, and I think I have an area picked out for where we're going to place it. So let me head on over there and we'll pick up the rest of the episode from there. Okay, so yeah, we're over in our newly terraformed area over here, and you can see we do have from, around the time of our last episode, we have our guard tower sitting out over here that extended our border out on the west here. But I was working little by little and having Maddox and Emmy terraform this area down just so we have some flat land. Because again, it'd be nice to put some additional houses over here and, start developing this side up a little bit since, like we're running kind of low on room, at least in the middle. Now we have to extend kind of to the further east of the continent and the further west. But this is going to be the site of our next build today, which is going to be the Combat Academy. Now, there's a lot of buildings that I do want to build soon just because, there's a lot of different ones we need, to be frank, that would help out a lot. But the reason that we're doing the Combat Academy is not so much to use it as a training grounds for future like knights, but we're going to use it as a way to train future nether miners. And we actually recruited someone recently that had a level 27 strength, and also their adaptability was decent, but the Combat Academy will teach them that skill, as the Combat Academy like prepares knights to go into there, and one of their traits is adaptability. So we're going to be using the Combat Academy, and I think we're going to have to hop into bed here. Let me just grab our bed. Got way too much stuff in my backpack. Let's just jump in right now. And yeah, so okay, there we go. So that's pretty much going to be the purpose for what we're doing with our Combat Academy, is that we're going to be using it as a tool to train our nether miner and our nether miner in waiting. Because again, the nether miner position is a tough position. Unfortunately, we are going to lose people along the way there. You know, because even the highest trained ones like are still gonna at some points, unfortunately, we're gonna lose them. So it'll be good to have someone in the wings waiting. You know, I'm hoping that by doing this, we're gonna prolong the amount of time that it is until they are until you know we have to replace them. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we'll go ahead, let's place this down here, but just a little bit more again, as I talked about that. I mean, its traditional purpose is to train knights, and you know, essentially though, like again, you know, we're using it for the purpose of the nether miner, but at the same time, you know, you can use it to train knights. And essentially it's nice because, you know, they'll get all the attribute boosts that knights get as, you know, as they're in the profession and that, but they will not at the time, like they're not at risk, I guess, outside of the risk of like a mob attacking them or something. But you know, just if there's a raid or something, they're not going to help you defend the raid, unfortunately. But you know, it gives them a place, like a safe space to essentially train to take on that position. So you know, a new knight in the training will need a bed and a house in order to spawn. So like everything else, like before you get another guard, you know, you do need to have an open bed then. But then the person who is at the combat academy will move over to the combat academy, so it'll quickly free up a space there for another citizen to be born there. And of course, each level corresponds to the number of students that you can have. With this one, there's no multiplier. So at a level 1, you can have 1 student. At a level 2, you can have 2. At a level 3, you can have 3. At a level 4, 4. And at a level 5, we can have 5. So, you know, the more you increase, the more you can like you could push through. So for us, you know, we can have our nether miner in waiting there, and we can also train. You know, if we lose a guard along the way, we can always have someone training there as like a backup guard, to take over their foul into that profession there. So, and again, as I mentioned, that the students at the combat academy will not defend the colony. So in a raid, or if there's just mobs walking around, like they're not going to attack them. They're just in training there too. So yeah, what we're going to need though for the design is we're actually going to need 3 iron swords. And it looks to be, from the MineColonies wiki, it looks to be that we need iron swords. So let's go ahead. We have the 3 swords right there. I'm going to go ahead and put them across there, and we have some planks. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, not do that, but put around the edges there. And we're going to take our build tool and put it up top. And you can see we get the Combat Academy one here, and it looks pretty nifty, right? I like how it's got the little like obstacle course looking strategy thing on the chest there, and then like the rack of swords. Like I think that's a nice touch to it. So we're going to place it right over here. I think this is going to be a good area for next to our new guard tower. So let's go ahead, and again, there will be a little bit of flashing. So just as like an FYI, that will be happening. So let me go ahead and place this down. Let's see how big this is. I think we'll go with a stone, just because like I think, well, we use a lot of stone obviously, but also, oh, this is pretty big. Wow. Oh, and we fell down. Still a work in progress terraforming here, but you know, first rule, always pay attention to where we're walking. Let's see, is there a backside, or is that might be the front side to it? Okay. So we'll have to push this back a ways. There, and let's get it lined up first, and then we'll take a look and see what the specifics are of it. So this is huge. Okay, so probably won't have like a neighborhood. Originally, I thought we were going to put like a residential street down there, but now I'm thinking maybe, you know, that's not going to happen. But I think this will be a good spot for it. As far as is the entrances, are they just on the sides? Yeah, it looks like they're just on the sides. Okay, which makes sense that this is like a large training area like this, like out front, so that they can, you know, do their drills and whatnot. But yeah, I think this will be good. We're gonna say, because we could put it. I guess the other thing is we could put it on this side of it to preserve a little bit more room on that side, and we could get some terraforming out of it. Actually, I'm wondering, because now that we extended the borders out, let's go ahead and move it over and see, because I'd like to leave some room to make like a residential street over there and maybe put in like a bakery and stuff. Maybe put it in over there eventually. All right, so this is the border of it. Just looking to see. Yep. I guess we'll leave a little bit of room maybe for like a nice little path coming down this way through so that they can enter here, but we have to be careful where we're stepping. Okay, this would actually work. And this is like a big one, but I think that way we leave room over there. So I think we're gonna do this. We'll do this, and I think kind of like, yeah, this should push it out a little bit more actually too, so this works out. So okay, we'll leave that other area up here for another build or builds over there. Oh, there's some attack going on there. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll leave it on the sides though, because we could. I mean, well, I'm just debating whether or not to like rearrange it around or just leave it. You just leave it like this. I thought about maybe flipping it on its side. Yeah, I think just kind of leave it the way that it is. Not mess around with it. Yeah, we'll just put like a little brick path going down or down that way too. But okay, this is lined up the way that it was. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this thing at level 5. Oh, so this gets massive. Wow, that gets really massive. Okay. Okay, so it's got like a palace wall around it. Interesting. It looks like a little fort. Okay, well, yeah, we'll leave it like this then. Okay, and this is lined up correctly. So let's go ahead and let's plop that down there. And I'm just going to get these out of the way because it's kind of in the way. Let's take a look and see here what we're going to need for it. So we should have a minimum stock, well, level 2, so we can have some armor in there, but not too bad. Cobblestone wall, furnace, oak plank, spruce stairs, stone, glass pane. Oh, not bad at all. Lever. I think if anything, we could just make that very quickly. Hay bale, carved pumpkin. Okay, so just a few things that we'll have to probably gather for them, but nothing too much. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll do this by way of a time lapse. I think that'll be a good way to kind of see this whole thing coming in. So let's hop on over to the time lapse. Okay, and we're finally back, and you saw through the time lapse how long this project took to do, and most of it was because again, Maddox had to fill in a very large area there to flatten out the land, so it took quite a while, but yeah, I'm very happy we finally got this in. So pretty basic design, you could see like right from the beginning here. So not too much to it at level one. Let's head on inside here, and this actually looks pretty cool. I like that with the weapons rack right there, the block for it. But yeah, let's take a look here at upgrading it to level 2, what we'll need. And okay, it looks a little bit more substantial. There's some leather items we'd have to make. I'm not even sure how much leather armor we have still, but okay, excellent. So yeah, we could go ahead. We could see we could set a minimum stock here as well. I'm not sure if they'll actually use iron armor or not. I think we should still deck out our person. But yeah, I think we're going to leave it here for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider dropping a like down below. Really does help out with the YouTube algorithm so more people can find our community. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free, doesn't cost anything. I always very much appreciate all of the support. You'll always be notified when we go live. And of course, our Discord is open to everyone there. The link is in the About Me section on YouTube here. So if you have a Discord and you have an interest in joining, feel free to head on over. Like I said, free, open to everyone there. We'll be back in a week with another episode, perhaps the composter I'm leaning towards. But if you have an idea for a build that you'd like to see next, please drop a comment down below. But until next time, my name is Nerd Builder. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.